Okay, today we're gonna see how to go to the moon and back with a reusable rocket, fully reusable. Okay, first you get 3 Hawk engines like this. Then you get 3 of these long fuel tanks into each, on top of each of the engines. And then you put 2 like very short fuel tanks on the sides, and in the middle put 1 separator. At the sides you also put some nose cones, and in the middle you put a Valiant engine. On top of the Valiant engine you put 1 long fuel tank, and on top of it you put another separator, and then 1 capsule with a parachute. And then on the sides you put some landing legs on the side of the second stage. On the bottom you press this, you go to structure. On the structural part you tap on the structure, you press this button, and then you know what, it's better if you put symmetry on that time, and then you put another landing leg. Whew. And then you need all the 10 parachutes. So keep symmetry on. We press this thing again. You go to aerodynamics and you put off the parachute with a little bit of space in between. Yeah, I'm kind of rushing right now because retention time is like crapping, but I can't put it in like 10 minutes or less because then that'll be impossible. Once you're done, launch. You press off the engine to turn it on, put it to 100%, and boom! Here's your engine. Boom! Here's your engines. And then you wait. The height of your engines still takes a while. I got wait. At 2,000 meters, turn a little bit to the left, like this. No, not to the left. That will be very bad. Turn to the right, dummy. At 10 kilometers, you turn 45 degrees, like this. And then you go to max, and you wait until you reach like 32 kilometers. If some of you have noticed, I had infinite fuel on, and I didn't realize until I just figured it out just now. And then I turn it off, and I have to restart. But now I'm not cheating. I launched my rocket again without cheat. It's just off camera because you don't want to watch it twice. At least most of ya. Now you turn it 90 degrees. Gotta be. Once you're at 25 kilometers, you turn off your engines once it is at 30. Once your highest trajectory, like this point, is at 32 kilometers. 32. That's just good enough. Because yeah, that's what it is. Now time lapse, time acceleration. Not make sure you don't go too fast until you're at the dot. The rocket is touching the dot basically. Now you will start your engines and renew. If the dot is behind you, go up. Put the rocket higher to make it approach you. Until you reach an orbit. You should have a little bit of fuel left. Separate both of your stages. Wait, why can I not control anything? I don't know why. Okay. let me show you how to have a probe in here. Now you go back to your rocket. You press this thing and then you go to others. Now you go to this. You choose this one like here, this fuel tank, and then you put a probe right here. You select both, then you move it, and then you're done. I'm gonna do this again for ya. This is hard. Okay, I put it with a probe. There's a little bit less fuel because, well, the thing is. Okay, we got into orbit again. Nice. But now we have a little bit less fuel because a probe is 3 tons, and I mean it doesn't really make an impact. Now you just separate them, and because this has a probe, you can just go the opposite. It should just redirect here. I just pushed it a bit, and now I changed the orbit by a little bit. Now you point your engines to the arrow and just kind of do this. And thing is that now you go to the other rocket and you just time lapse because you can't time lapse on the other rocket. Wait until it gets near to the Earth. Don't time lapse too much. Only times like 5, and if you're that risky, 25. And you see, now it should be like, no, super chaotic. But at 3,000 meters, you should slow down and make it less chaotic. So you press the 1-2 tab to get the staging stuff. You press the plus and you just select all of them, all of the parachutes. Yeah. Then you can just tap the 1-2 button again and deploy the landing legs because you need to land. Because you need to land. Because you need to land. Just because you have to land. Okay, at below 2,500 meters. You know what? You do not do it at 2,500 meters. Do it at 1,000 meters. Just because I want to save your time. Okay, now it should slow you down just accordingly. And should be a good amount of slowing down. And at 2,000 at 250 meters, at like you should fully deploy, like a tenth of where you can deploy. Now be careful, but right now things are pretty slow, so you just have to slowly slow things down on the other ship. You know what? Just assist it at the entire time. You know what? Because I'm doing a risky move. If you don't guide it, then you might crash because that's just bugs. That the atmosphere won't help you if you're not looking at it. That's just a bug, but the developer are not gonna fix it because nobody noticed it. And at the end, you can just do this. Okay, I'm not gonna do it. Now you can go to the other rocket floating in orbit, and you zoom out and select the moon. Now press navigate too. I'm already directly on the point. You know what? Just to demonstrate, I'm just gonna choose go to another transfer window. You time lapse until you reach the dot of that's labeled transfer window. And then once you have this like number pop up, as fast as you can do it. Actually, you have to first press on the engine that you want to activate before you turn it on. Okay, now you should be going to the moon. The reason that you're not actually aiming at the moon is because the moon constantly moves. If you directly aim at the moon, then the moon already have shifted out your target location. So that's a big thing to know about. once the MS reaches like 50, slow it down a bit. You don't want to miss the moon and have to go all the way backwards. Okay. Now go to something like 7% or like below 10% and just aim as near as the moon you can. But do not aim below 5,000 meters. That means you cannot time warp, and that is like a real bummer, if you know. Like how? That will be very hard, and this is your orbit if you leave Earth. Oh God. Yeah, I did it on an accident. But there's always time to change, you know. Let's just go to the apopsis. And make an orbit. So even if you missed it, you still have time to just reverse your mistakes. Just technically, that's what you can say. Okay, now you have an orbit like this. In your achievements, you should have say descended to low moon orbit. That just means that you just come from space and descend to that. Reach means you come from it, and capture means you do not do anything and you're just suddenly captured. It's hard to get though. You have to get off and out of gravity, out of heliosphere orbit. Okay, now you go to the dot that has a bigger number, which just means the apopsis basically. And then you point your engines to the arrow, meaning that you just slow down. And this just means that you're going to land on the moon. Actually, you have to create a quick save. Just in case. I mean, I already didn't do it before, but that's a risky thing. Now you have to aim it until you reach into become a line. You not know what's a line, then what the hell is wrong with you? Everybody knows what's a line. You see, there's two lines at the where you are between. You have to make it become a single line. It's hard, but not impossible. Okay. I mean, you do have to be as precise as I am, but I just like it. Right now, above 5,000 meters, you cannot, you know, below. You have to be below like 5,000, so that you can have all the parameter stuff. But you're already going really fast right now. There's no atmosphere anymore on the moon, so it's a real bummer. Okay, now you just aim it until you get to some low amount. You can't time warp here, so you just have to kind of regulate it and kind of just make sure that you don't mess up. Usually you want to lower it. You want to lower your amount of fuel spend, because you don't want to waste your fuel and accidentally go up. That might be disastrous when you overshoot. I would just call it overshooting. Landing isn't that hard if you're on the moon, you see. at about 3,000 meters. Just keep it below 40 ms. I don't even know what I'm doing. Actually, just wait until you're at 500 or something. Just to save your fuel. Because you have to get back to Earth, you know. The parachute here is for Earth. And right now, and you know the moon doesn't have an atmosphere. If you didn't learn that, then what is wrong with you? Just saying. You have to keep this. You have to keep your velocity below 8 to have some good sense. Okay, I have to use a lot of fuel. Okay, I'm gonna have to. Okay, once you reach like a. Now I'm landing. Now you have to keep it at a chill pace. Keep it at a nice pace to make sure that your landing legs can hold. And then you land perfectly. The moon has a really low gravity, so you'll still be dragged if you have a little bit of horizontal. Just use these things to like anchor yourself and down. I mean, you can still lift off. It's not actually anchoring you. Now you have to get out of. Okay, now you zoom out and now and select Earth and then navigate to. Now you have to get out. You have this transfer window looking thing and yeah, you just now just wait until you get into that transfer window thingy, which will take a while. I'll wait. Okay, once you're above 5,000, just time accelerate. If you have to get it above 5,000, at least 5,000, or else, bruh, what the hell are you doing? Okay, now you just get it until you just get into a big orbit, which they'll get back into Earth, and then you just try and get it to as much velocity. Once it gets like below 10, you have to lower it again. You just do what I taught you when I'm navigating you to the moon. Do the same to Earth. You just make it go to 0 ms. And because you're on the moon, there's little gravity, so you have to be very, very precise. Dang it. Actually, you know what? You're already good enough. Okay, now you just zoom in once you're at like 0, like you already got into Earth exactly, or you just got like negative 0.1 or something. Now you have to slow down yourself. Actually, you know what? I kind of hate this very much. Yeah, I'm gonna wait. Okay, so now you have to Like go to the part where you're very high up, and then you just put your engine to the arrow, easy as that, and then you just boom. Now you'll be falling down, actually, not just merely getting into an orbit that will last for very long. You're actually going to be out into the atmosphere. So you do not do what my mistakes are. You just straight up go to the apophysis, the highest area, like the point with the highest number, and then just slow down and point your engine to the arrow, and then wait until you get something like below 15 kilometers should be enough, but below 10 kilometers would be good. Here it will take a long time, so I recommend just going to another thing that's on the ground. And then once you reach like 2500 meters, you can deploy a parachute, and that's perfect. And then you just kind of just wait as you slowly descend into Earth, and bam. Just kidding, I'm not stupid, I'm not going to still burn my fuel. And you should have this. So reach upper atmosphere, escape Earth's atmosphere, reach low Earth orbit, enter the sphere of influence of the moon, descended into low moon orbit, landed on the surface of the moon, reach low moon orbit, escape the sphere of influence of the moon, enter Earth's upper atmosphere, escape of okay, you shouldn't have this part. This part is totally it's just me messing up a bit, like just doing stupid stuff. Don't follow that. It's just me trying to slow down, but I realize I don't have enough fuel and I start panicking. Just go to the apophysis, and yeah, you get the idea. And the thing is that, look guys, look, who's this? You guessed it. Yeah, I'm pretty stupid just now. Do not ever do that. You can still go up in a little bit and you still have a bit of fuel, like a tiny breath of fuel. And it's literally in full capacity, like, yeah, this thing is supposed to live itself. You can also just play around. Like, when I say play around, I mean play around. You know what, I don't even know why you're watching me just do stupid stuff. But if you want to, you can. And at the end, you landed everything. It's fully reusable. And I'm gonna end the video. If you can sub, please. And I think the start of my SFS career. This might just turn into an SFS channel, but I'll still sometimes occasionally play other games because I'm not dedicated to it. It's just fun.